Just about every car manufacturer in the world is working on environmentally clean alternatives to the gasoline engine. Electric power is looking particularly promising, but despite all the claims of pure air, many auto enthusiasts ask, what's it going to be like to drive electric cars? To answer that question, we recently sent FYI reporter Lisa Barrow to update us on one company's progress and get a feel for the future.
This is the Impact, GM's sporty two-seat electric car. Cars like this will be in the showroom before you know it. Here at their desert proving grounds in Mesa, Arizona, GM tells us about their electric car program. Members of the automotive press were invited to get behind the wheel of several electric vehicle test mules. Vehicles that are powered by electricity have been around since before the turn of the century. The reason they never caught on was due largely to the limited range of the battery. Today, batteries are still a manufacturer's biggest hurdle. For the near term, GM has opted for lead-acid batteries.
It has very high power per unit volume. That means that we can package the battery in a small car and still get power for extremely good performance. They're also low cost. They're presently manufactured, and we know how to manufacture them, and they're recyclable. There are drawbacks to the lead-acid battery. It doesn't store as much energy as we'd like, so we can only go approximately 100 miles on a full discharge.
The batteries will also have to be replaced every 2 years at a cost of $1,500 to $2,000. GM hopes to extend battery life to 5 years. You'll be able to recharge your car at home, and it will take about 3 to 3.5 hours.
As more people buy these cars, they'll set up charge points at work and at the mall and at restaurants and downtown parking lots. This car is wonderful for maintenance. I mean, there's no spark plugs, there's no oil changes, there's no tune-ups. The only thing you got to do is put fluid in the windshield washers and check your tire pressures.
We could be driving an electric vehicle like the Impact in the very near future. By 1998, 2% of all the vehicles an automaker sells in California must not produce any exhaust emissions. Electric vehicles meet this criteria. 9 northeastern states are considering adopting legislation similar to California's plan.
Now push the forward button. Notice it's still absolutely silent.
So now I can just hit the accelerator and...
Off you go.
Once I got used to pushing buttons for forward, reverse, and neutral instead of grabbing for the gear shift, I found myself right at home in these vehicles. Acceleration was smooth, and there was plenty of power available at any speed. And the vehicles were incredibly quiet, except for gear noise, which GM promises will be absent on production cars. Even the Impact, with its impressive 0 to 60 time of 8 seconds and a top speed of 110 miles per hour, breezed by with barely a sound. How safe are these vehicles going to be?
Well, we think they're going to be a lot safer than a conventional vehicle. You're not carrying around a bunch of gasoline that can be volatile at times. The charging, we want to make sure that the charging, basically you can lick the plug and not get an electric shock. We certainly don't want children or animals, being able to pick the plug up and get an electric shock from that.
Electric vehicles will also have to meet all federal safety standards for crash testing. There's no official word yet on when GM will begin mass producing an electric vehicle like the Impact. We're guessing 1996. Other car makers like Chrysler and Nissan are also moving swiftly towards producing vehicles that are powered by electricity. All electric vehicles will almost certainly be higher in price than gasoline-powered cars of similar size and performance. But breakthroughs in battery technology should significantly reduce the overall operating costs of these vehicles and extend their driving range, making them more palatable to a consumer's pocketbook when they hit the showroom floor.